you are coming to my stream live, thanks for being here and go watch the rest of this playlist. So what you should know of and the impression of each of those countries on the playlist is part of the World Challenge that I started in 2021, and this video is actually the last one I'm going to be doing on this. Is going to be my impression of Costa Rica. So, if you have comments, please put them down.
If you have comments, please put them down. Comments, please
Okay, forget this. Sorry about that. So anyway, yeah, Costa Rica. Let's talk about it. So let's say you envision that you want to live there for longer term, retire, invest, or just go on vacation. There's a lot of options. A lot of people who are investing right now all over the world, and mainly outside of big cities. So in the country, out a layer or near close to a beach, or sometimes in a deep full wide area with beautiful trees and flowers and mountains and stuff that really make Costa Rica, wonderful place to live, wonderful climate. So Costa Rica does have wonderful trees, flowers, fauna. Weather is really good, but keep in mind it does rain often. Um, there's a lot of mosquito, reptile, little animals, cricket stuff now. So you might want to have screen doors and stuff in your house in place. Also, it get pretty hot, so AC is not really that common unless you reach over. So and it can be very pricey. So you have to make sure you pick a place where it's not completely exposed to the sun. So you want to be surrounded in by trees, bushes, whatever can bring you a little more shade because you're going to be there often, and you want to save on on the AC bill, or you just don't want to invest in AC, and you can do that. If it's just a vacation home, a rental home. So there's dangerous area, there's good area, there's area where just mainly for foreigner and people who invest usually invest where um, there's just less people. It's just really close to the water, and it just they kind of buy a lot of acres around, and then they just make it their own ranch farm, business retreat, just retirement home for everybody come visit all of this. So that's the wonderful idea because they can build this back home on demand. So the best way will be to be there for a few months and get it done quickly. So you don't come, you just don't have contingency. You get everything done. You see it done. Price is as it's fixed, and now you can maybe take care of the rest when you come back. If you don't have residency yet, you want to work on that, or maybe you just want to be here just for 3 months out of the year on your tourist visa, and then come back every year, and then just let other people go there, and people can watch your house stuff. Because if you only going to be there that little time, you don't know what's going on over there. If your house is being saved, even though it's closed. If you are in an isolated area, then, people could break in easily, and they could just take over your house while you're gone, and you come back and it's completely empty. So, there's a lot of thieves and some robberies there, and the police is not always on everything as you would think it would be, but no. So I've heard story of people that have invested in land, didn't go check it out for years. They go there, they found out that it's been sold to somebody else, or it wasn't real land, or it was a dump, in some water site, and they could not put it there, and so they just wasted their money, and they paid fee, all this to find out that either the lawyer was fake or he wasn't licensed or whatever. So there's a lot of things to take in consideration. So if you have better is to have good connection here where you live, and you have friends over there that you can rely on. You have a good broker or good lawyer, and then people that can work things out for you, and get everything done quickly. But if you're just here for vacation, um, then you're gonna love it. It's got everything that you need: the weather, the atmosphere, the prices are good, and yeah, it's a little expensive compared to Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, all of this place. It's more central, but um, it's not gonna it's not gonna be much different from what you know. So if you're looking for vacation as with great climate, everything cheaper, but still have everything you want around you, this would be the perfect place. You can find anything uh, in food department, in clothing department, shoe department, in every in activities, everything you want. But rental car, it's going to be a little more complicated, a little more expensive, and less secure to rent. It's better you take transportation; it's very cheap. Um, or if you buying cars, also a complicated process. It's so expensive to buy cars, so it's not going to be easy to do that. So uh, so you could just rent a car for a few days, and just hoping that it's a good rental company. You just never know. Just kind of shop around and see for yourself. Explore the savannah, the fauna, the parks, the museum, the pools. I mean, it has a lot of trees, a lot of just great, plains, great seasides. It rains often. The sidewalks are really poorly made. The buildings are really old and outside the main areas. Um, and so if you go, there's a lot of pigeon there for some reason, a lot of big monuments. But if you go outside the main center, it's very old and very poor, and it's a big contrast. So in this area, you're not gonna be unnoticed if you are not one of them. So um, I didn't feel threatened or anything, but could tell that just from arriving there was a lot of um, uh, busting hustlers that were just on you. They knew that we were tourists, and they were just, it's aggressive. Um, you felt a little aggressive, like how taxi approach you, vendors approach you. Um, I didn't feel safe in hotels, any of them actually. I stayed out. Um, it's the lowest you're gonna get is about 15 a night, but those were really unsecure and safe places. The minimum is about 20 to 30 for an okay place, and now if you want something close to what you used to, you're gonna go to 30 to 60 a night. It's still really low. Um, but if you were to stay for a month or two, you might want to keep it low so it doesn't accumulate, because you gotta pay ATM fee. ATMs don't always work. You often need cash. There's a lot of shop markets going on, so fresh markets, food, vegetable, but also a lot of stuff. So it's always making you want to buy more than you need, and you are going to be charged obviously foreign fee and then the ATM fee. So every time you get cash, so this is going to be another thing that's going to cost you at the end. So um, because anything outside a big town, it's usually in cash, so you can't just use your card stuff. If you get lost and you get in trouble, you be like, oh, you probably gonna end up having nothing if you don't find an ATM. But they don't work half of the time. So you want to be near a bank where you can go in case they don't work, and you can try to work things out. How you want to change US dollar if you brought US dollar. A lot of people saying usually it's better to do that. Wi-Fi and stuff don't work as good. Um, it's not very protected and secure, so you want to bring your own. Make sure it's international. What else? Food. There's a lot of fruits and vegetable markets all the time. People try to sell everything everywhere outside of the regular shops, and they do it anyway, even though there's police cars going to chase them often. Um, chase them away, and but they come back every single day, so it doesn't seem to bother them or stop them. Um, just there's a lot. So if you want to know more, you can ask me. You can comment. You can tell me the situation. Maybe you thinking about going. So again, it's just 3 months. Tourist visa. You can renew one time. Then you have to leave for 6 months. I think 6 months, maybe a year before you can even come back. So that's that. And the things that I didn't like falling down those thin sidewalks that were so slippery. It was no joke. You're walking out of this tiny little street, so they do have tiny little streets, lots of stuff, and it's so small, so crowded that not only the sidewalk is so old, but they don't sort them. They don't do anything to make them less slippery. So for some reason it's like stuffing bottom there. So just you're walking and you just sleep, and there's so much water. So I just don't know how people are walking without falling. I don't know. Because even walking very slow and still manage to fall at least 3 or 4 times. So it's really weird, and there's a lot of hills up there. So but anyway, Ubers are super cheap, so that's another way to get around when you need to go somewhere. So and they're good, they're usually good, but uh, make sure you always have connection and you're in the main place. They usually just pick up in main big place, and if you go somewhere where it's not really known, you might not find them. So you want to stay in a places that you can find them. They're usually quick, uh, like minutes, because there's going to be 10 guys waiting to that one person. So they're really, really fast. Um, or you can just go behind a scooter, you can go, and that will be even cheaper. So that's it for now. So yeah, just subscribe and let me know what you learned today, and if you want to
It
know.
might not be the best location. You gotta think about that. It
So
might
this is
be a place.
another one of things that I made. All right.